There are lots of games that came out in recent years that tell you the story of a journey. I mean, every video game is a journey, if you look at it that way. But some journeys are explained in a more confined way. The ones that move me are usually the ones that depict its journey on a more personal level. Some conveys resilience of player, while the other one evolves the story of a father and a son. One of my favorite games to this day, The Stranding 1, depicts what humans can manage, even in the most dire situation, and tells the story of a man who connects and saves the world. Death Stranding 2, on the other hand, is much more of a personal story, and the journey of Sam is not grand or as epic as the predecessor, but it feels more significant, because this journey is not about saving the world. This journey is about healing. Before going on with the review, I want to talk about Death Stranding 1. Even though the game deserves its own review video and is impossible to summarize story-wise, it wouldn't feel right to me to talk about the second game without talking about the first game. If you already played the game or don't care about it, you can skip it from the timestamp section. In Death Stranding, the world is destroyed and ravaged by a cataclysmic event called Death Stranding. As a byproduct of Death Stranding, there are weird ghost things called BTs. There is rain called timefall, which accelerates every material or living thing's lifespan, basically destroying or killing it. There are bandits and terrorist groups who steal your loot and beat you up. Because of these conditions, remaining survivors are scattered along the world of the living, separate from each other. These separate communities are kept going by the efforts of porters, who are basically the modern-day delivery guys who knows how to shoot a gun. Porters use breech babies, aka BBs, who are unborn babies of brain-dead pregnant women. I know, it's weird. We play as Sam Porter Bridges, the man who delivers. From the title of our hero, a man can guess that he is a porter, and he would be right. He is a porter who is tasked with connecting the whole of America with chiral network, with the help of the BB which is assigned to him. That is where the gameplay loop comes together with the setting and the story of the game perfectly. You deliver goods, run away from scare goats, beat up some bandits, and Troy Baker. You deliver more goods, run away from giant ghost whales, beat up Matt Mickelson. It creates perfect synergy between dramatic and sentimental story, relaxative gameplay of delivering things, and over-the-top boss fights. While these are happening, the player ends up bonded to the incredible written characters such as Fragile, Heartman, Deadman. As we bond with the characters, Sam bonds with BB, which was assigned to him, as a tool. Towards the end of the story, we end up connecting the whole of America, beating up Troy Baker and beating up Mads Mikkelsen, who is revealed to be our father, also preventing another cataclysmic event by hugging our mother or sister. Anyway, at the end of the story, Sam is ordered to incinerate and dispose of his BB. The game ends before the Sam makes his decision in this order. Some people really liked the first game. Some people really disliked it. If you can't tell by now, I loved it. I would give it an 8 out of 10. But I get the reason why the people didn't quite enjoy it. The gameplay was too slow and raw for them. So in the second game, was Kojima and his team able to improve upon the first title and progress the incredible world which was built? Without further ado, let's move on to the review of the second game. The game starts where the first game left off. Sam and BB, now named Lou, have been living a fugitive life in what remains of Mexico because Sam did not obey the order to incinerate Lou. And they have to hide from the new government, which is run by robots now? One day, a familiar face arrives, Fragile. She wants our help to connect to Mexico like we connected to America. And we agree. Funnily enough, the game gives you different options to not agree and not help Fragile, which causes the section to start again. And if you choose that option too many times, the game sends you back into the intro vault, which I found hilarious and also concerning what is to come. Mexico is a great introductory minimap. The game starts to give you tools to solve problems. What is good about this first map is that the game gives you these tools one by one to make the player digest and grasp their toys in this sandbox fully. Because of the lack of options on tools, you have to use ladders or anchors, which you can get around not using further into the game. But further into the game, because you use these basic tools in the start of the game to get around, and now you can use your exoskeleton max 3000 to move fast, jump higher. You feel your character's progress naturally. There are 5 different settlements in Mexico which you can deliver cargoes to. The main objective does only make you go past these settlements once or twice, but if you help these settlements, you get special unlocks and more tools, which are an essential part of character progression. While you progress in Mexico, the player finds asking themselves the question, why am I doing this? Which increases the discomfort, also makes them guess what is to come. I spent almost 12 hours on the first map before moving on to the second and last map, which is Australia. Towards the end of Mexico, as almost every player guessed, something bad happens. Lou has been lost by the attack of masked terrorists. Even though I wasn't shocked, I was shook. Because we had spent lots of time together and overcome challenges together in the first game. But Sam was done. In that moment, he lost everything he had. After that moment, the game evolved emotionally, and the story became almost better than any single-player game story I have seen to this day. After this part of the game, it becomes much more of a personal story. Sam does not accept reality that his daughter is dead. Rather than grieve her, he just denies it. As the player, you know the reality, but the game tries to keep this reality away from you while playing the game. Lou seems to be sitting in her pod just like the first game. The game tries to mislead the player to think everything is alright. There, our journey begins in Australia. A journey to finally accept reality and grieve. A journey to heal. Australia is big. I mean really big. Most of your time is spent here. There are lots of deliveries to make, people to meet, places to see. What makes this big map so special is that the map design is a masterclass. The map is interconnected with lots of shortcuts and pathways which the player unlocks with progress. And there is not just one way either. There are always multiple ways to go from, or multiple tools to use. The game keeps giving you new means of travel to choose from, even in the end of the game. You can go to your objective by walking or by climbing over a mountain. You can fast travel with the help of your own giant tar ship, fast travel buildings, or even hot springs. You can use your zip lines or highways that the other people build. You can ride a jeep or a bike. It's your choice. One of my favorite parts of the game is building highways. It's extremely relaxing and meditative, really. Connecting the whole world with highways, creating easier terrain to travel for your future trips, while helping the other players in progress. I have either built or contributed to the building of every highway in the game, and it was so satisfying to drive through all of Australia, easily and make every delivery without problem. One of the most improved parts of the game is combat. Shooting feels great. You feel the sense of impact of bullets. The main difference of combat in DS2 from DS1 is that the combat has been refined and streamlined. Now you cannot kill humans accidentally and cause a giant crater. Ammo type and weapons modes are chosen from the weapon menu. Even though this design change prevents some hilarious moments from happening, I find it good. Also, there are lots of new weapons, and towards the end of the game, it gets crazier, like a backpack which carries rockets and shoots homing missiles. But what are weapons for if not for the enemies? There are bandits and BTs like the first game. In addition to these enemies, we now have Scare Ghost robots to fight. These robots have become my favorite thing to shoot at in the game because of dismemberment mechanics. Bandits are usually in their camp and we can sneak up to them. Sneaking to camps is enjoyable and satisfying. Also, this is a smart thing to do because if you die to bandits, you can just go to your saved game. You lose your loot and have to reclaim it. For BTs, you can sneak past them, but the problem is that for me, is sneaking to them is extremely stressful. The sound effects, the way they move, I just said nope every time and sprinted past them. For the most part, this strategy worked. I had a few accidents that got caught and accidentally summoned a giant BT. I died to them and made giant craters. The characters in DS2 are written extremely well. All of them feel significant to the story and feel like they have a unique personality. Sam, Fragile, Heartman, Deadman are returning cast. I like the new characters as well, Rainy, Tomorrow, Darman, Dollman. They all play important roles in the story. But I didn't like Higgs. I didn't like him in the first game either, so we can say that they stay consistent with Higgs' writing. I don't know, I just feel like he's bad. Just to be the bad guy and lacks motives. But there is one new character we fight that I like the most, Neil Wana. The character's appearance and the way he moves is obviously a reference from Kojima's Solid Snake character. But it's not just that. He plays Matt Mikkelsen role from the first game. Sam goes into other dead realms as a part of story, fights Neil. There are like 3 or 4 of these encounters which helps to elevate the game's pace. Also, he has an extremely fulfilling and emotional part to play in the story, which was one of my favorite parts of the story. And the last fight goes hard as well. Let's talk about bosses then. Boss fights are okay. Mostly you fight giant bullet sponge monsters. There are ones that are extremely cool, like the Neil fight or Higgs, but one of the problems with them is I think the game could use more bosses because there are 10 bosses max in the game. Considering that the game is minimum 30-40 hours, every 3 hours one boss seems like a good deal, but the problem is 4 of the boss fights are near the end of the game, which makes the player feel that the bosses lag towards the middle of the game. On the other hand, the graphics are gorgeous. It's one of, if not the best looking game I have ever seen. Not just the graphic parts. The character models and their facial expressions are almost like in real life. It is really hard to play this game and not be impressed by the attention to detail which character models have. Also, the weather. Oh man, I don't know where to start about the weather. Kojima Studios made the best weather of any game. Rain makes the player feel uneasy. The wind makes you feel like you are going to fly off. The marks and footprints you make walking on snow make you feel relaxed. It is crazy good. While talking about crazy good, we cannot not mention the soundtrack. I don't know why Love Roar goes so well while delivering goods in a post-apocalyptic world, or how the guy who is responsible for designing and picking the sound discovered that it goes well. I just want to congratulate them. I won't spoil the story and ending in this review, but overall the story progresses well in the game. Even though every big plot is easily predictable, it is fun playing through them, but I have some problems with the ending. It might be just me, but this Kojima weirdness is extremely present at the end of the game. A little bit too much present, a man can say. I felt a little bit mad when the game I have played for 60 hours almost ends with the bad guy doing a weird dance. Maybe this is Kojima telling us normies, don't be so serious. But I don't know. To wrap up, Death Stranding 2 is an amazing game. Definitely one of the best games of the PS5 era. The story is dramatic, the gameplay is meditative, combat is fun, graphics are top. There are some negative parts, like mentioned during the review, but they are so small that they can be almost neglected. If you own a PS5, you should play this game. And if you don't, you should play this game when it's out on PC.